Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, and so our card tonight is the Four of Swords. Okay, the Four of Swords, and this has everything to do with truce. Coming to some conclusion or agreement within some kind of situation. It doesn't have to be a bad one. But a place of, resting the spirit a little bit of a sense of security maybe, or the beginnings of moving into a new era. Okay, and so if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. All right, I want to start right here. It's a pretty interesting formation we have here. So we have a person. You can see their body and their legs. And oh, there's a TT. Hello, miss. And we have up here, it looks like maybe some kind of mirror or portal or some kind of doorway or window, which I guess a portal would be the same. Are you going to go? Where are you going to jump? You can come over here. I'll put you down. Oh, goodness. Okay, big jump. All right, so it looks like that, and then I lifted it back up, and it also looks like a deer, a buck, with large antlers. So we'll look at it both ways, but first I want to look at this as a portal. So we're seeing a person who is going towards this place of immense change. And you know what? I have to bring this up. I like to ramble a little bit in my readings, but there was, and I can't remember. I know Obama was president in the United States at the time. It was in Norway. It was called the Norway Spiral. And I always think about this. I know it wasn't, who knows what it was. But I remember watching that on the news. I was in my 20s, and every time I think of a portal, now I think of that Norway Spiral. And if you haven't seen it, or maybe you were too young, or maybe it was a happening event in reality that you were not aware of, go and look it up. It's really interesting looking, and I forget what they said it was ultimately. In my mind it was something quite symbolic, right? A shift in the paradigm and all of this, but I look at this, and it's almost a sense of looking into the world as you know it, kind of shifting, right? The circumstances are changing. There is a sense of it's this weird thing that happens, I think, to all of us at some point or another, where it feels like our life gets smaller, right? Maybe you retire. Maybe a relationship ends. Maybe there's some kind of, something that causes deep grief. Some kind of tower moment in our life. But it does. It makes our life feel smaller, smaller, smaller. But at the same time, as our life gets smaller, or we perceive it to, it's like something opens up, right? It's like when one door shuts, a window opens up, right? I forget what the saying is, but it's something like that. I really feel like, and I'm not saying anything terrible has happened, okay? But I do feel like in your life where things have sometimes felt maybe a little bit stagnant, maybe like, hey, I don't know which direction I'm going in. My life isn't feeling very magical right now. I don't feel very connected to spirit at the moment. I'm just kind of getting through the days. And we all go through these periods. I know I do. But there is this thing that is really beginning to gain some momentum. And I think you're beginning to really notice it. Okay. And it's almost like that looking glass, right? Beyond the looking glass. And so I'm interested. What is this thing? Now let's look at it as the deer, and we have the deer here, which is one of my favorite symbols. If you've watched any of my other readings, I love talking about the sacred deer. But we have the buck, we have the stag in a resting position here, okay? And the antlers, beautiful, beautiful antlers, and kind of a gateway in their own right. And so I feel like it really is kind of the sense of, if you could imagine being the king of the forest, right? A being that is kind of at the top of the thing. There's no other natural predator, at least very few. Okay, and you feel as though you can kind of walk through these spaces with confidence, and when you want to lay down in the middle of the meadow and get some sun on your back, you are not really bothered by any other little measly animal coming around to bother you. And so, yeah, I do. I feel like there is this confidence. There's this feeling of knowing thyself, right? And I feel also that, where maybe in your mundane life, there is a disconnect to some degree. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm really into the things I'm doing. Sometimes it's like, I don't know what any of this means, right? A little bit of existential ripples kind of going through. But ultimately, I feel like when you are in this mode of kind of looking into the great, when you are noticing and taking the time to really use the techniques that speak to you, whatever those might be, meditation, mantra, breath work, active imagination, dream work, ritual, ceremony, being a creative of some kind, whatever it is, when you take the time to put it into your routine, not just sporadically. It's nice. Yes, it's fun. It's nice to do it on the solstice, which is coming up, by the way, or some kind of feast or a holiday, or, the celestial bodies are aligning in some way, whatever that is. But when we make it part of our routine, where we set aside, every day I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes. Every day I'm going to, do my postures and mantras for, 30 minutes. When I wake up, I'm going to meet the day with my affirmations. whatever it is for you. This is a power growing upon a power, growing upon a power, right? And I'm looking at this as I say that, and I see the 7, the 7, the 7, okay? And they're all kind of, if you can see here, 7, 7, 7. And there's a power that is growing. It is becoming potent. And I feel like we have the eye here, okay, looking inward, really looking into that deep, internal and eternal space, okay? Listening to yourself. Listening. Oh, and see the eye, and I turn it around, it turns into the house. You can see the little, like a kid would draw one with the little chimney up there. And really, maybe as I'm turning this and seeing, turning your home, part of your home, your room, a room in the house that is yours, into a sacred space, into your temple, into a place where you can do your artwork, you can do your crafts, you can sit and read, you can meditate, you can keep altars, whatever it is that you like to do. But creating a space that is for you. And, if you have a family and the house is crowded, and I understand that, even if it is just, something you have put aside in a little case, or, something you can put away, a desk in a corner that is just yours, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose, it doesn't need to be anything ornate. But something that is for yourself, something that is an expression of this work. And I believe this is so important right now. I see we have this lunar symbol right here, kind of almost on a little pillar. And we have the crescent moon. We have a being here. It looks like a goat holding the chalice, or the Ace of Cups. We have another goat right here, in a similar posture. And these are devotional postures, okay? If you can imagine, kind of being on the knees, being in a seated position, head raised. I always like to say, when there's a symbol that is kind of humanoid or animal, and its head is raised to the sky, this is a symbol of awe. If you can imagine looking into the sky and seeing, something biblical, right? It is the awe. It is the ineffable thing. It is the vision of visions. It is the thing that opens your heart up wide. And so with the cup, the Ace of Cups, and that lunar symbol, there is a deep emotionality here. And I think that this is very much the center of the power there. The emotionality, that your capacity for emotionality is one of the great aspects of your spirituality, your religiosity, or whatever, your philosophical life, your religion of love, and it is the thing that delivers you, even if it feels like it is the thing that maybe sometimes makes you weak, or makes you, you're so wound up in, the heartbreak, or the grief, or being very angry, or very sensitive to other people's emotions or actions, and so on. This is one of the most amazing qualities you have. You feel, unlike most people, feel so deeply. So deeply. And so often, you know, I think it's really about channeling it into something, into things that, and that's what the cup's all about. Finding that vessel, right? Putting it into something that makes sense to you. Your artwork, your relationship with the divine. If you are some kind of practitioner, you know, of religion, of the occult, of magic, whatever it is, putting it into those things, staying consistent with it, being married to the path, okay? Because the further you get away from it, the more difficult it is. You feel, and it's a separation. You feel unlike yourself. You feel kind of lost, I think. And so down here we have the Sphinx. This one right here. Okay, and so a beautiful image of resolve, of contemplation, of those most ancient and eternal mysteries. And so you live so close to it. And so you do. Okay, we have some hearts. We have a heart that's kind of floating on the emotional waters here. We have one that's fixed up here. We have a bird. And we have the side profile of somebody right here. And it's funny because as it moves, it looks like their mouth is opening and closing a little bit. So this is maybe where this card comes into play. I feel that there's a sense of breathing, exhaling deeply, like a place where your soul can rest a little bit. Something can be put away. It may be an old resentment, an old hurt. Somebody maybe, and I imagine this is like a family member, because it seems like an old thing. Hello, my love. You want to come up here? Okay. You know, somebody who, I almost feel like it's like a competition between the two of you. And I don't, you know, it maybe at some point in your life, maybe when you were young, it's something that helped be a motivating force in your life. Like you just had to, you two really were always one-upping each other a little bit. And, you know, as you got older, maybe sometimes that led to, you know, some misalignment, maybe some resentment. And I had just miscommunication. Okay. And we see the bird up here. And this one actually kind of looks like a, what is that one called? Not a pheasant. I can't think of it. It's like a pheasant. Maybe a dove. Not a dove. I don't know. I can't think of it. But it's a bird that is very beautiful. And it has kind of that that purring sound like a dove. And it is a bird of peace. And so I feel like in kind of making up with one another, letting it go at least. It doesn't have to be any formal, you know, apology or anything like that. But just life has happened in such a way. And you probably, you know, are older. You've probably had kids that maybe are, you know, adults themselves. And now it is time to just enjoy each other. And you have come into this new place where there is almost a reunion, the ability to just kind of hang out and see each other once in a while. And there isn't this kind of, you know, dog eat dog and what is it? What's the other one? The rat race or whatever. Just trying to really, you know, get ahead of this cousin, this brother, this, your sister-in-law, whoever it is, I don't know. But, I think when we can finally get over that feeling, the tension is just, it goes away. And the ability to just be around, to just kind of have, some laughs together and enjoy. I keep thinking playing cards for some reason. It keeps coming up in my head, playing cards and kind of, just BSing together and reminiscing and all this. And then, and then it's okay. And then it's fine. And there's nothing that has to, there's nothing lingering anymore. And I feel like that in itself is just such a victory. And there's a beauty in that. Your heart feels, it feels good. It does. It just feels good. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Cincy Child affirmation cards. And I will just kind of stop where it feels right. And it says, I am intelligent and make decisions that serve my purpose. Yeah, you are. You're intelligent and you make good decisions. All right. Taurus, I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Let's see. Oh, it is free to subscribe. So we'd love for you to become part of the community. And that simply means, yes, just subscribing. And if you want to leave a comment on the videos, please do. I read them all. I know a lot of people read them. There's a lot of kind of community support among the people here at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. And if you have a channel, a small business, some kind of service that you would like to advertise, if you go over to the community post section, there's a post there and you can comment the details of your business or channel or whatever. And from what I've read, some of you are that have done that have got more subscribers and more people interacting with them on their channels and things. And ultimately I feel like there's a lot of love here. You all support me. I want to support you. There's room for everybody. We should all be lifting each other up, raising the vibration. And so, I want to have this little space to be able to do that. My little platform here, my little tiny little fragment of the internets here. So yeah, definitely go do that and just go over there and see who is on there, who's posted their info on there. All kinds of cool things. I mean, it's not just other readers and people in the spiritual sector and whatever. It is all kinds of things. So yeah, go check that out. TT says, yes, go check it out, please. So anyways, Taurus, I love you. Take care of yourself. It's almost Saturnalia. It's almost the solstice. We're just a few days away here. My favorite time of year. And hopefully, it's going to be a good one. We're going to have a beautiful cycle ahead. Nope, you got to go this way. You're going to... Whew, that was a big jump. I'm telling you, my toddler, she has infinite energy. These cats, infinite energy. I need some. All right. Yes, I hope everybody has a wonderful set of holidays. I'll be back before then. So anyways, we will talk. I love you. Yes. Bye-bye.